Welcome to the first episode of Total Football, your weekly podcast, everything about football. I'm your host, Dave Diaz.
I'm your host, DLR.
And let's begin with the Europa League, DLR.
Let's talk about how Inter advanced to the what is it, quarterfinals of the European Europa competition by beating Getafe 2-0 in the second game and 2-0 in aggregate.
I saw that game. Very interesting.
Was it? I didn't watch any Europa League football. The games were predictable as it is already.
And you call yourself a podcaster about football.
It was already predictable. We all knew Inter was gonna advance.
Juventus not in the Europa League, sir.
Inter was gonna advance because it's Getafe.
Getafe gave a good match. They even missed a penalty. If they would have scored that penalty, the game could have changed totally.
And Man U was already up 5-0.
Oh, well, that one was very predictable.
Exactly.
Literally, if I was last, I would have not even shown up. But anyway, Inter Getafe 2-0. Eriksen comes off the bench and scores right away. Getafe missed a penalty before that, like I said, which would have tied 1-1. And it would have been maybe a whole completely different game before Eriksen came in. So Inter beats Getafe and advances to the quarterfinals.
Man U beats Lask 2-1. Like you said, Lask shouldn't even arrive.
Yeah, like if I was Lask, I would have been like, okay, guys, we forfeit. Take the match. I don't want to make the trip to England. I don't want to get my players to risk of COVID or whatever, and just let Man U win because they won at Lask at the home of Lask 5-0, and now they won 2-1 at their home. With the whole 11 being the bench, basically, no starters whatsoever.
Man U did give some of the bench and some of their youth players some time to develop more and play.
And what I saw, the bench of Man U is not that good.
Yeah, who's on the bench? Lingard, Juan Mata, Igalo.
Fregi, apparently.
I think the other one who wasn't a sub was Maguire started.
Maguire, the captain. I don't know how he's the captain. What should be the hair? Doesn't matter how the season he had. Maguire played again 90 minutes. I don't think they should be playing him that much, especially in this game.
Especially because you're risking him from getting injured and then missing more games.
No, not only injured, he's dirty as hell, like Sergio Ramos, which I love. He could get suspended. A bad kick, a bad tackle. There goes a red, and you lose him for the next game. I think it was an unnecessary risk, to be honest.
And then I guess the most interesting but boring game: Wolves versus Olympiacos.
More even matchup. They both came from a 0-0, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I think Wolves have won.
Wolves have won?
Oh, they tied 1-1 in the other game.
So it was a very close match. Obviously, nobody knew. Raúl Jimenez, the Mexican,
scoring another goal.
Another penalty. One of the best penalty takers there is out there.
Making him one of the most the most Premier League striker with the most contribution in goals in the whole season.
Anyway, that wasn't relevant, but okay. The Olympiacos goalie really messed up in the beginning of the match.
Giving the penalty to Wolves.
Giving the penalty. Off base what I saw, because I saw the game, the goalie was really good under the three posts. Amazing saves he did. But with his feet, he was horrible. A lot of mistakes, gave the penalty away, and Raúl was not going to miss it. If you know Raúl's record, he's only missed like 2 penalties, and one of them was in training. Yeah, out of like 100 something. So Wolves advances, and I believe Wolves is going to face Sevilla. Man U is facing Copenhagen, and Inter's facing Leverkusen.
And just to add the other game, Shakhtar is also going to be facing FC Basel.
Shakhtar versus Basel. If I'm not mistaken, Shakhtar, who did they beat?
They beat Wolfsburg, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they beat Wolfsburg 5-1 in aggregate.
Oh yeah, they scored 3 in the last 3 minutes, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, like the
so
last
Shakhtar Basel, Inter Leverkusen, which for me is the most close-up matchup.
Wolves and Sevilla.
Wolves against Sevilla is going to be a good match, but I think Inter and Leverkusen have a better level.
And also remember that there's only one game. There's no 2 games, so it's going to be maybe more difficult for the teams.
It's do or kill.
Pretty much.
Or dire kill.
I think Man U has the most simple game.
It's more accessible. Copenhagen has never been a team that it's a European giant. So Man U, I mean, with its history, with its players, should be an easy win. But you never know. You know, the nights in Europe are crazy sometimes.
Well, then, talking about crazy nights in Europe, talk about how Juventus...
Whoa, DLR, before we go to Champions League, which is the most interesting competition, let's go to La Liga MX because it's the only tournament in this world that started after or during the pandemic.
Oh, that in Belgium starts this week.
Belgium starts this week, but it hasn't started.
Yeah.
La Liga MX, the Mexican league, has. Can you tell us how that's doing?
All right, so we're just going to run down the first 5 spots of the table since like the most important teams. Right now, they're doing okay. Number 1, it's America.
Somehow?
I don't know what you mean by that, but I mean, they've been playing very well, unfortunately. Their latest game against Necaxa, they drew 1-1.
Oh, you mean your little brother, because America owners also own Necaxa, and they probably agree for a draw.
Okay, I mean, that's just bias from you to say that.
Sure.
And then Pumas in second place with 6 points. They haven't played yet this week.
They have one game coming up this weekend.
One game. Tigres, third place somehow with 5 points.
Tigres is always on the top of the table.
But now the way they've been playing this past 2 games.
The past 2 games were pretty bad. But they beat Necaxa 3-0 in the opener of the league.
Yeah.
And that's why they're in third place.
Yeah. And then Puebla in 4th place, surprisingly.
Yes, it is surprisingly, but I think it's a thing of circumstances. Because in the opener, they faced Mazatlan, which is the barely promoted team from the 2nd division. Or not even promoted.
The team that bought their rights.
Yeah, they bought their place in the Premier League, basically, of Mexico. And they are really bad. So they beat them 3-1. Then they faced Cruz Azul, which is an amazing team, really good. This might be the bueno. This could be the good year, right? For them to finally break their 20-year run without winning the title. But they faced them at their home in a stadium that looked like a swimming pool. And they won, or they didn't win, they tied 1-1. And they're 4th place because of that.
And then Cruz Azul, the same amount of points as Puebla, 4.
And like I said, Cruz Azul is a great team. They beat Santos the first game. And then against Puebla, unfortunately, they didn't have their main striker. And the conditions of the stadium didn't help them. But they're there in the top 4 places of the league.
And now, just to add on to this league, there was a change to this playoff system, which I'm not really towards or for.
I hate it.
It's the first 4 teams are automatically qualified into the
playoffs, basically.
Playoffs. And then there's a wild card between 5th and 12th place. So that means if the 12th place beats 5th place,
they're going into
the main playoffs, which personally I do think is pretty unfair.
Okay, so like I told you since the beginning, I hated that idea. So now instead of 8 teams going into playoffs,
no, it's 12.
Now it's 12 basically. That's what they're telling you. That leaves 6 spots left for losers, basically.
Pretty much.
Personally, this is not good for competition. If they were gonna do this, let the first 4 go into the playoffs, and then 4 through 8 fight it out, and that would have been better. You know, basically like the NFL, if you're higher ranked, you skip a week or you take a bye.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, definitely adding more teams to the mix, 4 more new teams, I think it's just ridiculous. Just like Mazatlan being able to buy their way into, or Atlante making Atlante, selling their place to Querétaro or Necaxa.
But I mean, just moving on from the 3rd world soccer division up to the Majestic.
Wait, before we go to the Magic Knights in Champions League, the Mexican League did start this 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago?
3 weeks ago.
During this pandemic of COVID-19. And there's been a lot of cases. Santos has cases. Chivas has half of its squad. My prediction is the tournament will not be finished, DLR.
Probably it won't, but more than likely, the way Mexico is, they're going to force the finish.
Maybe. Okay, so now we do move to what?
The Majestic Knights of the Champions League.
The champions! So, Champions League is back. Thank God. Because I missed them.
We missed those. And talking about crazy things happening, talk about the two things that happened in the most recent games.
So we had Real against Manchester City.
And Juventus versus Olympique Lyon.
The 13-time champions versus City, who's looking for their first, and Juve,
who's looking for also their first
in Champions League. Against Lyon, who never thought would make it this far.
Yeah. And let's just say that Lyon made it farther than they knew. That they thought they were going to make it because they eliminated Juventus. This is the second game, the away game.
The second leg?
Second leg of the competition. And the first game, Lyon won it 1-0.
At Lyon, right?
At Lyon.
So Lyon, I mean, it was surprising. We never thought Lyon was going to beat Juventus. But they did at their home 1-0. And now they lost the game 2-1.
2-1. But unfortunately for Juventus, the away goal rule happened.
Over there in Belgium, they had Kompany. Now they have De Bruyne and Vertonghen. So now Ramos had a red card. And Varane was up to take
his role as a leader.
Exactly. And he was not up to par. Unfortunately, he made two horrible mistakes. One starting the game, giving the ball to Sterling, and then the next one giving it to Gabriel Jesus, and bye-bye Real Madrid.
Yeah, I mean, not only that, but you could have seen Real having all opportunities to score. And the one player that missed out on not bringing to Manchester, in my opinion, was James Rodriguez. James would have made this game a lot more offensive, which should have been the point of Real Madrid, seeing that, Manchester City scored 2 goals on you. You at least need to score 2 more to level up the things. And they did not play very offensively. They played more controlling like they always do. But this time, the controlling did not help them out at all.
Yeah, we saw Real Madrid that controlled the ball, that controlled the pace of the game for most of the 90 minutes. I agree. James, the few games that he has played under Zidane, we know Zidane does not like him. Has proven himself. I think he can be a great acquisition for any team that would want to play him. Also, Gareth Bale seems to be out. Gareth Bale could be on or off any night. He's an important player, right? 120 mil, not for nothing. And then you have Vinicius Jr., who, even though I personally do not think he's the greatest prospect, however, his explosion in a game where you need to score could benefit the team, unlike Hazard doing nothing basically.
Definitely. And not only that, but I mean, subbing in Lucas Vázquez, a player that does not show any,
or Jovic
does not show the explosiveness that Vinicius does. I think it was very poor subs from Zidane.
Not only were they poor subs, because he was Lucas Vázquez, Jovic, and who else?
I'll check them out.
It wasn't. They were gonna play. In Valverde. It was Federico Valverde.
But Asensio came in for Rodrigo. Lucas Vázquez came in for Daniel Carvajal. Valverde for Modric, and Luka Jovic for Eden Hazard.
Okay, so you went all out attack with players that have not proven themselves, who have been below average, and
the bracket we got RB Leipzig facing Atletico Madrid, who without Timo Werner, I do believe Atletico should win this one.
Timo, I know you're hearing this, Timo. Even if it's the first episode and we got like 3 viewers, Timo Werner, you're a rat. You're a rat. How dare you leave Leipzig, who gave you everything, who put you in the map? Just play Champions League with them, bro. You're going to Chelsea, who's basically eliminated by Bayern Munich. Let Leipzig, give them a chance, but no.
And then in the other bracket, Atalanta versus Paris Saint-Germain.
The game of the week.
Pretty much, yeah, because I mean, Atalanta is a very, very forward-thinking team who actually in this season of Serie A scored 98 goals, the most
in Italy years. Ever, yeah, or 50 years.
50 years, and the PSG do have the skills,
2 of the top 5
Neymar,
players,
and hopefully, if Mbappe is ready to go, Mbappe.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Mbappe is injured, so probably still don't know if he's gonna play or not. But you got Neymar, you got really good offensive players, and Atalanta's more offensive, and but unfortunately leaves more space in the back.
That's true. Their defense is not their strong suit. Their midfield and their attack is. Personally, I'm a Real Madrid fan and Man United fan, so Real is out, Man U's in the Europa. So I want to see the dark horse win or advance the most they can, and that is Atalanta. They have El Papu Gomez, who I love. Duban Zapata, Illich. I don't know if Illich is gonna play or not. So yeah, and this game's not a 2-leg game; it's a one game. So that's what makes it very, very interesting. I know Atletico and Leipzig is one game too, but they're teams that are not that offensively minded. So this is the highlight of the week personally, and I hope Atalanta wrecks.
I mean, just adding to the Atalanta, they scored 98 goals, but unfortunately conceded 48 of those.
Like I said, their defense is not the best.
Their defense is not the best compared to Paris Saint-Germain, who...
But that's not fair. Paris Saint-Germain didn't finish their season.
Very true. But I mean, still, hopefully, as a bias pick, Paris Saint-Germain and Kylian Mbappe is much better. We never want to see a young world star
get injured
like that
Mbappe
and miss the most important competition.
If PSG beats Atalanta, they're basically on the final, because either Atletico or RB Leipzig can defeat them in the semifinals.
So you're saying if PSG gets to advance against Atalanta, you're saying PSG versus Bayern Munich in the final?
Or Man City.
So okay. Personally, I think it's going to be Bayern versus Paris Saint-Germain.
Same. Those are our predictions for the final. Bayern is going to wreck Chelsea. Again, go on to wreck Barcelona or have a tough time against Napoli, who look better. But they are the better side. And then Man City defense is...
Napoli did finish better this season. They beat Lazio 3-1. Well, Barcelona ended the season on a losing against Osasuna.
But Messi's mad. And when Messi's mad...
You never know how well he's going to play.
Keep a puff. So, yeah. But, yeah, Bayern should take it on that side. Because even if City makes it to a semifinal, their defense is weaker compared to Bayern. And then the final would be a really good clash between PSG and Bayern.
Also, talking about Man City's defense, the only saving grace from that defense is Kyle Walker and Laporte.
Kyle Walker, amazing game today when he came in as a sub. He didn't start, if I'm not mistaken.
I think he started, yeah.
He started? Mm-hmm. Well, the first half I didn't see him. But the second half, he was all over the pitch. Laporte was good, but Benzema did take him on a couple of occasions.
And I keep saying, Fernandinho is not a center back.
He's not a center back.
He doesn't have the strength or the height.
Defensive awareness.
That's what he needs. Or the height for a center back.
Laporte did good, but like I said, Benzema took him on several times with great success. So you can just imagine what Lewandowski or what Messi can do.
Definitely. I mean, or even Mertens.
Mertens, very agile, very small, but very, very talented player.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna try to keep this up every stage of the Champions League.
We'll try to update as much as we can, cover as much as we can. Obviously, they're going every day, and we can't go every day because we work and we don't live off this yet. So yeah, thanks for listening to our first episode, and hope you join us for this journey.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Hellcat.